Right, going live. Right, let me see. Right, we are live. Going live. Let's see. Right. So, good morning.
Very good morning.
Uh, so we are starting a discussion. Let's see. Little give about 5 minutes. We'll start from then. I
Yeah,
think
sure.
all the guys,
No problem.
and we'll start with all the guys. I think yeah, we have one viewer. That's myself. Okay, we have viewers from YouTube as well right now. So I started this because I want to have a discussion regarding the current technologies with Microsoft, and most of them don't have the right focus on what is this Microsoft 365 and what is the content of doing moving forward with Microsoft 365. And earlier we had a confusion before. I think the rename was done on April 21st. Before that, there was a confusion. What is this? This is a full rebranding and stuff. But actually, that is what happened already, right? So to get started with, we have okay, right? Okay, so from the introduction, this is Tech Talk with Malith. I'm Malith Vimana from here from Sri Lanka, and I'll be joined with Dileepa Kariyawasam, technology specialist from Microsoft Australia. So he was a colleague with me for about 2 to 3 years while we were working in Sri Lanka, and so we are having this discussion so we can have a good knowledge of what we are working with, right? So Dileepa, how are you?
I'm good, Malith. How are you?
Good, good, doing good. So this
Thank
is
you for
my first, yeah,
yeah,
you are
thank
my
you for
first guest.
inviting. Yes, definitely. Thank you for inviting me to the very first podcast of yours. Really humble to be here and to do this podcast with you together.
Yeah, definitely. And it's my honor to join you because you are one of my mentor as well. So you were guiding me whether you are from Sri Lanka or in Australia. You guide me through all the things what we do. I reconfirm everything most of the time I do. So you was a help for me. So it's my honor to get you in this link and start this discussion.
No problem.
So we will start with that. Means what is I'll pop up the first question. What we have is what is this Microsoft 365?
Okay.
That is the best question we
All right.
have right now.
So before I jump in, I mean, this is fairly a very basic question. I think I'm quite sure everybody knows what Microsoft 365 is and what my Office 365 is. But anyway, I'll explain. That's fine. So
Okay.
initially, when we launch these Office 365 platform, we launched several products with it, which is Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, OneDrive for Business, Skype for Business, including Teams.
Okay.
But then when the businesses requirements were evolving, when the cyber landscape is evolving, we decided to rebrand the Office 365 SKU as Microsoft 365. Now,
Okay.
what this Microsoft 365 includes is it's the same set of Office 365 applications that you get with the SKUs, but in
Okay.
addition to the Office 365 applications that you currently know, you
Mm-hmm.
also have the enterprise mobility and security component, as well as the
Okay.
Windows 10 component built
Okay.
onto these SKUs. So that's why we have rebranded the platform as Microsoft 365. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean that customers cannot still buy Office 365. You can buy the Office 365 SKU as is. But for the
Okay.
customers who are looking for advanced workloads, the complete or the comprehensive solution that Microsoft offers, including EMS as well as the Windows component, which is built
Okay.
onto Office 365 side of applications.
Okay.
Microsoft 365 is the way to go.
Yeah. So as I was explaining, because there was a reason. That means I have been working, I think, for the past 8 months, 8 to 9 months I have been working with closely with partners regarding this matter, and there were some issues, right? They were thinking that this is the rebranding, and most of them didn't know what was Microsoft 365 as well. There are some partners in Sri Lanka still they don't know what is Office 365 as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now when we take 10 years back, it was very hard for a company from going from documents to normal server base, computerize the event, right? I
Yes.
had struggles. I had struggles about it took 1 year for me to take a customer from document base to PCs. But now we have the same problem in going to cloud, right? That is the main reason that we are discussing this. What are the possibilities of going through? So this is a little bit explanation regarding the background what we have here in Sri Lanka, because still they have fear of their data, right? The security part and stuff. People, that means some of the times partners explain it well, but some of the time partners does not reach the customers critical point. That means getting the product into line and what are the
Yeah.
capabilities of that. So because
Mm-hmm.
of that only we started this session, so we can understand what is this Microsoft 365 platform, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have a lot now, we have a good potential with this situation around the world as well. Partners are working all full time in this. That means converting customers into digital transformation with Microsoft Teams available for the collaboration tool. So likewise we are moving forward. So the next question I got from one of my colleagues was, why should companies think of modern workplace practice, right?
Okay. Yeah. So before talking about that, I think it is important for us to understand what this modern workplace buzzword means, right?
Yes.
Because we talk about modern workplace, we talk about digital transformation without knowing what this actually means. So
Yes.
modern workplace is a concept where any organization, right, brings in a software or a piece of application to make sure that their employees become more collaborative, more productive, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's what modern workplace simply means, right? So the biggest example is the COVID-19 pandemic that we currently have. So the customers who have embraced Microsoft 365 or Office 365 over the cloud uh, were uh, were able to effectively face this COVID-19 pandemic because they could empower their workforce to work from home without any issue, because their workforce were already accustomed or used to working with these technologies,
Yeah.
right? So that's all about modern workplace and how companies can actually modernize their existing platforms to to embrace and then move forward in this digital economy.
Yeah.
And that's why companies needs to think of a modern workplace transformation as a topmost thing when they're taking decisions, because moving forward, now the world has realized that uh, the workforce need not be working from their offices. They should be able to work from anywhere, as and when they want. So moving forward, if the customers does not adopt these practices, like for an example modern workplace practices, they will actually be playing in the back foot in the digital economy, and they will and very soon their competitors will outrun them and outsmart them, and provide services to their end customers. So that's why it's of paramount importance for the customers to think their digital transformation journey, as well as getting onboarded to a modern workplace practice.
Yeah. So that's a good insight from you, that because that's the thing, because we know the words are there, right? People are boasting about we are doing digital transformation, we are doing modern workplace, but sometimes when you're reaching the customer doesn't understand normal words,
Definitely.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the main focus, right? So in my way, I like to make people understand whatever the things we need to give, right? So when you're going to a customer, this is one of my insights what I'm telling.
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
you're going to a customer, being qualified of the technology what you're talking about gives you a plus point on selling, right? Whatever we do as a partner, as a customer, whatever we do is to connect people, connect, right? That is the main word what we have. Now for example, yeah,
Definitely. Yeah.
what
Definitely.
now in Sri Lanka we are, I think some of the Microsoft Sri Lanka as well as Education Ministry is collaborating together to bring Microsoft Teams collaboration tool with the Education License A1
Hmm.
to the school circulars, so that every student can work from their place, right? So they are bringing programs, they are bringing devices to Sri Lanka. So this is the real digital transformation we are talking about, right? This was not there because of this reason people started thinking about connectivity, and even the internet service providers are helping students with good packages because they have
Yeah,
to work. I think more than 100 and 150 schools have been converted into Microsoft Education license right now, and they are planning to convert the whole government sector in this. So we are on board with that. So I work closely with Microsoft as well. So this is what the modern workplace we are talking about, right?
that's right. And
So
it's really important for us to understand what the customers require as well. It's not about you going there and then pitching the product.
yeah,
So that won't help the customer, as well as that won't help you. So I mean, it's about selling the product and understanding the customer's requirement as well. So if the customer, I mean, we cannot, if we cannot address the customer's requirement by using our products, then customers will not buy the product. So
yeah,
to your point earlier, you mentioned that it is going to be an added advantage when you have a knowledge on the product. Yes, so that needs to be there, because then you will get, once the customer actually talks about their problems with you, then you can effectively map the product capabilities with the customer's pain points, and
yeah,
that's how you make a successful deal or a sale with the customer.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. So we have another question. So guys who are watching live, you can post any questions right now, so we can help you with the questions as well. So we have standardized questions available. Plus, we will be answering your questions. If you have any questions, please do type it through Facebook or your YouTube channel. Right. So the second thing is, how will M365 help organizations with modern workplace practice? I think you explained little bit, so we can move through the same. I think the same question, but little bit elaboration needed about this.
Yeah, so I think the biggest example is the current pandemic situation, right?
Yeah,
So you can take that into consideration. So for the organizations who have rolled out these collaboration tools way before this pandemic happened, they were successfully able to continue their work, because their workforce were empowered to utilize those tools. The biggest example is Microsoft, and how we work, I mean, throughout the world, right? So
yeah,
we never had any impact when it comes to this current pandemic, because Microsoft workforce is highly empowered to work from home. And I think
yeah,
the transition should happen from the leadership side of things as well. So the leadership should know when to embrace this change, because I've seen some customers, no matter how much we go and try to talk to them about digital transformation, they are resistant towards this change. Whereas some companies, they are openly welcoming this change, and they want to change. So
yeah,
there's a shift in mindset as well. So you can see, like, uh, for customers who were not embracing these type of digital transformation or modern workplace practices, they were the first to get affected when a pandemic like this hit the world.
happens.
So
Yeah,
and we have seen customers like that, because they have started reaching out to Microsoft asking for help, and even we have been helping our customers, giving them free Teams licenses to roll out to their organization, so that their users can be empowered to work from home during these difficult times.
mhm,
So I think it's utmost important for organizations to rethink their decision when it comes to implementing modern workplace practices, especially for those organizations who have been resistant towards this change. Given that there could be uncertain situations that they will have to face in the future, I think it's a good time to refocus on that decision.
yeah. That's good. That's good because I think there was some. As I said before, 10 years back, it was hard for customer to go from paper based to computerized.
Yeah.
And again, we have the same issues when you're going from computer basic servers to cloud servers, right? When you're talking about Office 365 or cloud solutions, whatever the Microsoft or other companies having,
Yeah.
we are putting our data in a place we don't know where it is. Right? That is the correct word. But entrusting with a product is the security part, right? So we will get back to that later. So actually, thanks for sharing regarding this organization, because the organizations have different, as you said, the leadership is the one who have to focus on what are the needs of their company, right? So there are some leaderships who are going for budgets. So after going for budgets, what happened was they will have some issues because collaborating multiple tools, it might not collaborate properly. We have faced that issues because I did some trainings regarding Microsoft 365 few months back. So what happened was I got to know that some customers are using 2 to 3 platforms to make a collaboration tool,
Yeah.
right? So with that, we have Microsoft Teams available with the Microsoft 365 solutions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Teams are updating it very quickly, right? We had issues, we had everything. We talked to them, and Microsoft help us back by giving us feedback regarding whatever the needs we need and
Yeah.
giving us the features needed, right? So the main point I think in Microsoft 365 today, what we have is we can focus on Microsoft Teams. Teams is a crucial product, that is, sorry, not a crucial product, important product in Microsoft 365 platform, so that the connectivity is there. You can chat, you can have video calls. Now we have up to 9 screens, I guess, right? With the
Yeah.
latest update, we have nine
That's right.
screens.
So we'll be rolling it out gradually to the organizations, but yeah, so we have been actually those features were supposed to come in an earlier update, but we had to fast track the process of releasing those features because most of our customers were requesting for those features to be made available due to this situation. So
Yes.
what Teams engineering did was they actually prioritized the release of these functions that the customers were requested. So that's why you can see the 9 screens that is available now.
Yeah, I think some of the features new with the update was raise your hand and download in the participants list. So
List,
you can
yes.
now you can download the participant list with the coming in and going out, right? Most of the time when we are doing a live event, what we do is we will get on the first starting point and we will go out and come back again and said I was there for the whole session, right?
Yes,
So now it's very hard. Now it's you will be updated regard how many times you came and went out, right?
definitely.
Okay. So another question what we have is from a colleague of mine. So what are the top 3 things you should share on Microsoft 365?
So I think for me, it's not only three. It's basically I have around 4 things that I need to share because when you're talking about Microsoft 365, the underlying concepts around Microsoft 365, or be it whatever the product that Microsoft offers,
Yeah.
is 4 things. One is the availability,
Mm-hmm.
the other one is security, compliance, and finally trust.
Yeah.
Right. So you all know we have more data centers than any of our competitors, right? So we can actually provide that 99.9% availability and uptime for our services to our customers.
Yeah.
When you're talking about security, we invest billions and billions of dollars to invest in security related technologies in Microsoft, and we have a separate cyber defense center that is housed in Redmond, who looks after the overall Microsoft data center security side of things and aspects. When you're talking about the compliance, we now support almost all the compliance certifications that our customers need to comply with in our services, be it Microsoft 365, be it Microsoft Azure, and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally, trust, right?
Yeah.
So trust is the word that Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella uses all the time, because without trust, we cannot sustain this business model. So
Yeah.
customers need to trust us, as well as we need to do things that customers trust Microsoft when it comes to doing and taking care of their data as well. So Microsoft obviously says that customers' data is theirs and it's not ours. Even Microsoft cannot access customers' data, even though they reside in our own data centers. So
Yeah.
our principles are straightforward, and
Mhm.
that has been the core underlying concepts when it comes to deciding these cloud solutions that Microsoft offers to our customers. So these are the four things that I can talk about when it
Yeah.
comes to M365 as well as Microsoft Azure.
All right. Okay. So that's a good insight because the main, as you speak, let me trust is the most important part. Without trust, we cannot move forward because let's say when we are buying something, we are reviewing about the product, right? We
Yeah,
see what are the reviews of the users. For example, if I'm buying this headset, if I'm buying this laptop, whatever the device I buy, some people, I don't know about others, but some, what I do is I'll check for the reviews, what are the feedbacks from YouTube or other channels, what they are doing. So you get the feedback, right? So as I can add for that, regarding the security part, Microsoft is spending, I think, $1 billion per year. More than
it's more
that,
than that. Yeah, yeah,
more than that, but means the downline is $1 billion for the security part. They have a penetration team as well as the security team as well, as I recall. I read about this, the details regarding recently,
yeah,
for some of my customer
yeah.
insights. So we have a good impact on this our product. So we are talking about, we are not talking to make the competitors down, but we are talking about the things, what the capability that Microsoft provides. That's the main part,
Definitely,
right?
and yeah. So I mean, it's not our thing to condemn our competitors. What we can do is we can actually educate our customers with regards to what our products offer them, and that's
Yeah.
what we do best, right? We don't go ahead and compare apples to apples and then say, okay, this competitor is bad and Microsoft is good. No, that's not what we do. I think
Yes.
actions speak louder than words, and I think you can see I mean there was one of our competitors product when it comes to this collaboration, and you have seen a lot of news around the security bugs that the product had. And
Yes.
given the circumstances, we had a lot of customers who have been using that competitor's product, and then
Yeah.
they have started not to use that product due to these security flaws, and they have started onboarding their users to Microsoft Teams because it was much more secure. So
Yes.
as I said, yeah. So this is
We
where
have.
Microsoft is coming from, and we are not there to criticize our competitors' products or nothing like that. I mean, customers are open to using whatever the products they like, but they have to make a sound decision by comparing all the facts and figures that are out there for them to compare. And that's where Microsoft can help them, and including our Microsoft certified partners who are well capable enough to educate our customers to help them make
Definitely.
a sound decision.
Yeah, the same thing happened. The reason I know the product you're talking about, we had the same situation about, for my knowledge, I had about 5 to 6 customers regarding this security issues what we had, but it was not critical security issues, but they had some issues regarding that. That means some messages were typed in while the meeting was there, so there was some penetration. So this made them realize to we had to go to a secure platform, and they have been using more than 1.5 months the Microsoft Team products.
Yeah.
As I think we have a commitment based product for E1 license. I think we have
Hmm.
6 months free trial for
Yes.
customers.
Yes.
So I was able to onboard some of the customers in this matter, and it was very, now they are actually working through and they are planning, that means they are almost planning to go full live on their product. So it
Yeah.
was a plus side for me as well as the product what we are promoting,
Yeah.
right? So the other question what we have is regarding Microsoft 365 is, do organization have a choice on features?
They definitely do. So before I talk about that, I think it's very important for us to understand what the customer's requirements are when we are talking about Office 365. Because the reason why I'm saying is that you need to do a user profiling when you're talking about onboarding the customers to Office 365, because user profiling will identify your users, and then that will help the partner or the Microsoft to properly align the Microsoft 365 licensing to the business requirement.
Okay.
Because I've seen some customers, they are going with E3 or E5, but they hardly use any of the features that the SKUs offer to these customers. So
Yeah.
the only platform that I see customers using widely is Exchange Online, right?
Yeah.
And all the other
Definitely.
products that are available for the customers to use, they hardly use that. So it's a waste of customers' investment. So we don't want that to happen. So I actually always advise my customers to start doing user profiling, because that will give them an idea as to what they would require, and that will help us map the licensing to their requirements moving forward with Microsoft 365. Because
Definitely.
in some examples, the customer might have a wider workforce who are who doesn't come to the office. Their workforce might be remote. So in
Yeah.
that case, they don't have to allocate a full E3 or E5 licenses, whereas that end user might not use all the features that are available to them. So we
Definitely.
have different SKUs which can cater to the remote workforce in the organizations, and it's kind of a mix and match offering that we can offer to our customers.
Yeah, that's true. Right. So that's what the feature availability. The features we have that issue in Sri Lanka as well. Some of the companies we have full packages given, all the features are given, but they use only Outlook email address. Even they don't use the OneDrive, the other products what we have a good product line. When you're offering Microsoft 365 licenses to a customer, they have
Yeah,
a good product line, and we have lot of services available as with us, right? When you have the free version as well as the full version, I think we have 1 terabyte of data storage available with OneDrive, and we have good email service with top notch security. We can track people. We have other applications like for the new application with Microsoft List is one of the greatest product I think Microsoft released recently. So I have been working with the insider unit. It's
preview.
very good.
Yeah,
Yeah, insider preview I have it. So like this, the product is good, right? So we Microsoft is that means listening to our always we are asking questions, when will we give this, but they will give us recently. But with this pandemic situation, Microsoft is working very hardly to give the features available as soon as possible. Now when you go to the support, that means we are in the tech community supports as well. It
hmm,
has been grown earlier. Before it was not that much grown, now it's very grown. We have quick support within hours of support. So these are the things what made digital transformation, and people are getting into cloud technologies because we need the
definitely.
support.
Yeah, yeah,
Whatever the product we give now, most of the time in Sri Lanka there is a bad practice that partners will go to a customer and give what they want, right? Now they are telling the customer might get some information from our other sources and telling I need E3 license, but actually they need this E1. They don't need office packages in their PCs. They need remote working and stuff.
yeah.
The company is needing E1 license, but the partner is pushing the E3 license. So this is one of the issues what we are going. That is, the partner is not surveying regarding the customer needs, right? So one of the questions, a good question what I have is regarding the certifications, right? Now, most of the time, Microsoft is providing good certifications. We have the fundamentals. Now we have changed regarding the Microsoft examination what we have. So one of the things is customers, some sales guys are telling, I'm focusing on specific subject, right? Do we need to do the certifications? It's only for pre-sales engineers, technicians. We are not needing. We are the front line. We are going doing and sales, right? This is a question what sales guys get, right? Do we have any message for these guys? That means, do they need to be certified regarding this examinations, or they can work with the knowledge what we have regarding certifications without certifications?
So look, that's a very difficult question for me to answer, because if it's a salesperson, if that person is doing purely sales, then yes, I think fundamental certification is enough for them to get a basic understanding as to what the platform does. But if it's a pre-sales engineer, for that matter, yes, the pre-sales engineer needs to know the product in and out. I mean, he or she might not need hands-on experience on that product, but they should know what the product is capable of delivering and doing. Again, yes, for pre-sales engineers, for any technicians, yes, Microsoft technical certification is of paramount importance for them. They should actually get themselves certified, because there are employers who require you to pass these certifications just to make sure that you have skills, and what it takes to help our customers effectively, to onboard them into Microsoft solutions. But for a basic salesperson who is out there doing the sales talk and all that, I think it's the basic certification that Microsoft offers, including the fundamentals, is the way to go. They don't need to do much more certification when it comes to technical. But if they want to develop their technical skills, yes, they are more than welcome to sit for those exams.
Yeah. So most of the time, I'm encouraging salespeople to do these examinations because I need to update regarding this matter. Because when you're going to a customer, sometimes you are getting into situations with direct decisions, right? The customer is asking some technical questions. At that point, if you are armed with some of the certifications and if you know the technical stuff, it's a plus point for you, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
No, actually, this was occurred about 1 year back. I
Hmm.
had the person was asking regarding this matter, so I encouraged him to do some certifications. And what happened was, after 2 months back, he did the certifications, and 1 month after certification, he went to a customer and he faced the situation that the customer was asking some technical questions to make the decision.
Right.
So at that point, their pre-sales engineer was also in sick leave. So at that point, if that person was not qualified in answering that question, so he said, he called me after the sales was, he got the purchase order and he called me, Nicola, thanks, you made this possible because of your recommendation and stuff. So what I'm telling is, I'm not telling everyone to do the full certification part, but if you're focusing on one subject, please go thoroughly on that subject, because there
Definitely.
will be there will be sometimes you need to be the technician that's it.
Definitely. I mean, you don't have to go into the level of troubleshooting the customer's issue, but
Yes, sir.
fairly basic understanding as to what Microsoft 365 is. What does it offer? What does
Yeah.
Exchange Online offer? What does SharePoint Online do? What does Teams offer? What can we do about? With Microsoft Teams. So, I mean, there are various resources that you can consume when you want to learn on these products and features and what it offers. So I think those if you consume those resources that are available to you, which is of course free of charge,
Mhm.
I think you will have a good solid understanding as to what the platform offers, and you should be well equipped to answer any of the customers technical questions from a pre-sales level, right?
Yeah,
Focusing
that's
on the
right.
pre-sale side of things. So again, doing certifications, it's highly recommended for the technical people to do certifications to keep up to date with the changing technology. But for someone like sales, there are plenty of materials that are available free of charge. Also, there are materials that people can actually consume by going into a learning services provider like Entech Learning, right? And yeah, so there are certain certification paths that they can consider doing officially as well.
Yeah. So in my part, actually, I was working closely with Microsoft for the past few months. So I was encouraged to promote fundamental examinations.
Yeah.
So I was good at that because I actually, for the record what we have today, I have certified more than 455 people from last November onwards, right? So I
That is
was
great.
good in
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So from Azure fundamentals to Microsoft 365 fundamentals, and I think we have new fundamentals will be available. As I guess it's AI fundamentals and data fundamentals will be adding into the basic examinations. So
Yeah.
while working with this is actually one of the great achievements what I have, with the support of Microsoft and Microsoft partners as well. So to name them, actually Trident Corporation was promoting this product, and as
Hmm.
well as So my initial exams was done with one of the partners called Tech One Global, Sri Lanka. So they
Yeah.
are the ones who firstly certified in this Microsoft Fundamentals examinations.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to, that means 99.5% passing rate. We had few fails as well, but the thing was some of the questions were rigged. That not rigged actually. Some of the questions they didn't understand, but they retook the exam by understanding the technologies, and this was a plus point when they are reaching their customers. That is the thing what I'm focusing on. Whatever I do, I want to get the good feedback from a customer, as well as the customer must get a good let's say, I can't get the word, sorry for that. So the customer must get the good news regarding the product what we have. So when the
Definitely. Yeah.
technician or the salesperson goes, he's armed. I know the technology, I know what's happening. So I am updating every one as possible regarding this matter, and for the reason during this pandemic situation as well, I have conducted more than 95 certifications in Microsoft 365 only, without Azure as well. So I'm very proud about that, because reaching customers at a point where there's a global issue like this. So
Definitely. Yeah.
I have another question given. So it's the same thing. I think we talked about this, but I'll put this up. Right? How has Microsoft 365 empowered organizations, government, and education during this crisis? So I think we talked about this little bit. If you could add some more regarding this matter,
Yeah,
it would be
so
great.
definitely. So yeah, so I think we have seen a tremendous growth in Microsoft Teams over the past few months due to this COVID situation, and then that shows how Microsoft 365 has empowered the organizations, every individual, every organization in the planet to achieve more. So
Yes.
that's Microsoft's mission statement as well. We want to empower you to embrace our technology and empower you to do your work.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great milestone that we together achieved along with our partners and our customers. So we are very humbled and we are proud of that achievement. That shows that our customers, our partners trust us, our products and technologies. So a huge thank to our customers as well as partners out there who has helped us in achieving those great momentums with regards to our products.
Yes. So actually, to add something, as I said before, now Sri Lanka is on the verge of digital transformation. I think most of the government sector has also converted into Microsoft 365, as well as the uh, schools are also transforming at the moment. So we have some schools still using some other tools, but we are making this a great work of convincing them to use the product properly, right?
Yeah, definitely.
We
It's
are
it's
not.
a, it, it's a good
Yeah.
move that is taken by the Sri Lankan government as well. That's a very good move, and we should give credit to the Sri Lankan government for taking that move and
Yeah,
going
the
towards
initiative, and the
yes,
initiative also goes to the partners as well as Microsoft Sri Lanka also tirelessly supporting at this situation, because now only we have, that means we have a little bit of that means the curfew level has little bit gone down. So now only we can, at this time only we have little bit of freedom, right? It's not full freedom, but it's a little bit of freedom. But the past few days we had full lockdown in Sri Lanka, but at
yeah,
this point, Microsoft Sri Lanka as well as our partners were working closely with the customers to provide a good smooth run of the companies, because we had some crisis regarding company connectivity, right? Some of the customers who were not willing to go digital, they had these issues, right? So we had ups and downs, but now even the partners are calling us and asking for our advice, as well as getting certified as well. The certification part is also the same thing. The customers are calling us, customers, partners, and everyone is calling us and telling, we need this certification, we are going into this, so what we should do. So always I'm recommending fundamentals, because it brings the core solution of the product, right?
definitely, yeah,
So in Sri Lanka now, the AI part is also little bit of growing part, because the youth are going into AI development. So this is a good part, because Microsoft is supporting AI as well as supercomputing. So we had some technologies released in the previous Ignite, I guess.
hmm
So with this situation, more are willing to do some webinars, do trainings, and we can see various videos are coming up because there is a people are eager to learn something and show the people that they know the technology and willing to help.
Yeah.
So I get more than 50 to 60 questions per day through my YouTube channel as well as directly from over the phone. So I'm really happy to help, right? So
That's
whatever,
good. That's good
yeah,
initiative. Yeah.
that's the initiative what we need. I'm encouraging youths as well to have this technology, right? Help him then what are the things needed. So I'm supporting them as well, right? So this is another question from one of my colleagues over here. So, what has changed and helped the new norm of individuals and organizations through tools like Microsoft 365?
Yeah, so again, it falls back to what we discussed earlier. But yeah, the organizations have been very traditional in the way they used to work, and now with the circumstances, they have again, they have started giving a thought about it, as to how they can let their users work.
Yeah,
Because if you talk about the organizational trends these days, they no longer want the employees to come to office and work. They want the employees to work from anywhere, make themselves comfortable, but at the end of the day deliver the work. So
yeah,
that's the kind of mindset the organizations has started to adopt, given all these circumstances that are happening around us. So I think moving forward, customers will continue to focus on how they make decisions within organizations, decisions around whether to get their users to come to work every day, every single day, or giving them the flexibility to work from anywhere with the correct set of tools, and to empower the individuals to be more productive and do more.
yeah,
Because we all know
definitely.
that when we are confined to our space, which we find comfortable, we tend to do more work, rather than going to waking up in the morning, going to office, taking the train or the bus. So that process itself is very stressful. By the time you go to work, you need to start working. But just imagine if you have a opportunity to open up your laptop, start replying to those emails while you're on the bed. I do that sometimes. So that's the new normal. I think moving forward, organizations will need to adopt to, because given the fact that more and more organizations are talking about hot seats, hot desking.
Yeah.
So these are the decisions that they will have to make. So as I said, the organizational leadership has a main role to play in this, because without their change of mindsets, none of this will become possible. So it has to start from there. The mindset change, culture change needs to start from the top level, and then need to be brought down to the bottom layers of the organization.
So we have another question from one of our viewers right now. So he's asking the multi-platform support with Microsoft 365. So do you have any insight regarding that?
So when you say multi-platform, what is that? Can you
No,
elaborate more on that? What?
he was asking, he has asked multi-platform only. So I guess he's asking that means collaborating between multi-platforms like Mac OS, Linux, as well as Windows support. So what are that means the ecosystem, iOS, Android, all this ecosystem. I think we have the full support of this, as my knowledge. So do you have to
Definitely.
add some?
So yeah, so it doesn't matter if you're using a MacBook or a Windows device. I'm a fan of MacBooks as well myself. So you can actually install your Pro Plus Office 365 Pro Plus package in your MacBook if you want to have that native experience with your Office applications. And yeah, you can configure your Outlook. You can have the Teams client installed. Now you can more than ever, you can use Microsoft Intune if you have a set of devices that are running Mac OS systems to do mobile device management. So we
Yeah,
continually, I mean, evolve, and we continue to support those platforms moving forward, because it's Microsoft focus is no longer Windows now. We tend to support Linux, we go and support Android, we support Mac OS. So yes, we do have that cross-platform support,
Mhm.
and things are evolving, and things there will be many more features that we will be releasing in the future for our customers.
Okay, that's good. Right. So let me see. Right. So what you can add regarding Microsoft 365 additionally regarding this before, that means whatever the question I'm pushing, without that, what are the things you can add in Microsoft 365 for our
So I think
conversation?
Microsoft 365 is a comprehensive platform that organizations can use without any doubt, to help them be more productive. I mean, if they have any concerns around security, you can actually talk to Microsoft partners, or Microsoft is here to clarify any doubts if they have around security and data governance and things like that. So
Yeah.
overall, it's a great product for the organizations to use, and we will make sure that we empower your organization, your workforce, when they use this technology
Yeah,
that is
definitely.
provided by Microsoft 365.
Okay, we have a question from our viewer, right? So he was asking, hey guys, so what do you advise to all our valued partners these days to help empower our customer?
I think the partners can actually work with Microsoft directly, because they have that channel that they can utilize, that is available for them to utilize to help the customers. They can run webinars. That is what some of our partners are doing. So they can run webinars on different platforms that Microsoft 365 offers. Be it Microsoft Teams, you can run webinars around Teams governance, because I've seen a lot of customers asking about how we can turn on governance now that we have given the capability for the end users to use Teams. We need to govern what's happening within the Teams environment. You can run webinars around Microsoft 365 security, which has become a very important topic these days as well. More and more customers are asking what they can do with regards to Microsoft 365. I
Mhm.
think Microsoft as an organization has all the right set of resources, right set of tools to empower our partners to go and deliver what our customers are looking for, with regards to rolling out these products, and again, with regards to additional resources that will help them to onboard their organization's workloads to M365.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, okay, we have another question, but it's a little bit of to develop side, but I will post this. How to build Power Apps using Microsoft 365. So to update this, Microsoft 365 is just a platform, and Microsoft Power Apps is a platform that you can work with to automate your workforce, right? But it's not connected. Most of the things are not connected to Microsoft 365 directly. It's connected to Azure as well as the development platform. So we'll be having, I think, my third session. So I'll be having next week. I'll be having my sessions with one of other Azure expert regarding Azure platform, and I'll be keeping post regarding what are the next things I'll be talking about. So I'll make sure the development platform has also been covered. So I think the session on, give me a minute, I'll update the date today. Right. The session on 14th June, right? It will be on development platform. So keep the date fixes. I'll be posting as soon as the details will, with my colleagues are okay. So we'll be discussing regarding the development platform as well on that point. So I think, okay, we have another question. So the development one, we will keep this on board. And we have a question from one of our colleagues. Tell us about the importance of Defender ATP for Windows.
Okay, so different ADP is our endpoint management platform, and we have Defender antivirus that comes with the operating system, which is Windows 10. And when you're talking about the Windows Defender ADP, it's no longer Windows Defender. We have renamed it to Microsoft Defender ADP. That's the endpoint. Endpoint management platform, or the detection and response management platform that we use to safeguard your end users endpoints when it comes to malicious attacks, and protecting your devices against those attacks. So
Definitely.
if you are important around, I mean, if you are really interested in learning that platform, there are certain materials available in our Microsoft Learn and Microsoft Doc sites that we can
Mm.
share after this webinar that you can actually
Okay.
refer to.
Yeah, sure, definitely. So I think, Mr. Akib, I think you got your answer regarding the ATP for Windows, but we'll be keeping posted. Please, we will share more details as well. So,
So again, to answer Akib's question, when you're talking about Defender ATP, it's just a platform under the wider umbrella term, which is Microsoft Threat Protection, because we have the Defender ATP, Office 365 ATP, Azure ATP, the platforms that falls under the Microsoft Threat Protection umbrella, and Defender ATP is just one platform to safeguard your end users' devices. So when you're talking about the overall security strategy for an organization, we need to talk about all these three concepts, or the three pillars that falls under the Microsoft Threat Protection umbrella, which is the
yeah,
Defender ATP, Office 365 ATP, as well as the Azure ATP for advanced Active Directory based attacks and things like that.
yeah. So now the other question is, I think it's new to be added because I have a simple formula for this. Now, most of the time when customers or some people ask me, what is this Microsoft 365? I used to say, it's the cloud, right? And the client and the middleware, the security part. So that is the basic explanation that I can give. So we were talking about cloud most of the time. So uh, another question: how does Microsoft 365 help Windows 10? By adding Windows 10, what is the support what we get through Microsoft 365?
So it's not a support model basically. So with Microsoft 365, you have two different Windows 10 flavors. One is the Enterprise E3, and the other one is Windows 10 Enterprise E5. So
Mhm.
we are not talking about the support model here. So in terms of support, it will be the Office 365 support that you will get.
Mhm.
But with regards to the different versioning or the different SKUs that M365 E3 and M365 E5 you get when it comes to Windows 10, it
Mhm.
will be different. So there will be a myriad of features that are available for the customers who are using the Windows Enterprise E3 as well as Windows Enterprise E5 in the M365 E3 and E5 SKUs.
Okay, that's great.
So I'm not
So
too sure what it means by support level.
I mean,
Uh,
what is the role in Microsoft 365 by adding Windows 10 license? That was the question I was going to ask.
okay, so
That
basically
I,
we wanted to offer the we wanted to offer one platform where our customers can use to maximize their investment. So that's the reason why we have as I told you earlier, we have remapped all these products into one particular SKU and have made it available to our end customers to consume.
yeah. Okay. So okay, there was another question by our friend Akib here. So we have, is it? It's a great tool. Replaced Cisco ESA and AMP with Defender ATP, right? As we say that, as we can agree with the Akib, most of the tools has been upgraded, so we can work smoothly, right? What Microsoft does is bringing all the ecosystems to one platform makes us easy to work,
Definitely,
right?
and that's one goal of Microsoft as well, because rather than having um, individual solutions which doesn't talk to each other, we are capable of providing a single platform where customers can get all that insights within a single platform as well, right? So that's main reason why we have released Microsoft 365, which contains all the platforms that the organizations are looking for when it comes to going and working in this digital economy.
Yeah, definitely. And so I have a question before that. One of our viewers have a question. So he's asking, would like to know the licensing on Microsoft 365, a high level explanation on various editions and key features. Right? I think we can do this.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. So basically, Microsoft 365 offers two set of licenses. One is M365 E3 and M365 E5. So when you drill down these two licenses, with M365 E3, you have your Office 365 applications plus the EMS E3 suite plus the Windows 10 Enterprise E3. So when you
Yeah.
shift to Windows M365 E5, you have the Office 365 applications, plus you have the EMS E5 as well as Windows 10 Enterprise E5 as well. Again, when you are talking about M365 E5, you can divide those SKUs into security, compliance, and voice, because we understand that some of our customers does not require all the functionalities that M365 E5 provides them. So we
Yeah.
have given them the capability to mix and match various components. So E5 platform again gets divided between compliance, security, as well as voice.
Okay. So I need to add something as well. Now, when you're talking about Microsoft 365 licensing, we have that means threshold, right? So if the company is requiring more than 300 license only, we are going to the enterprise level licensing. Or rather than
Yes.
that, if you're talking about small medium business, uh, we are talking about the normal business plans. What I think the latest ones we have is Microsoft 365 Basic, and Microsoft 365, and other one is Microsoft 365 Premium. So these are the lines. If you're having customers less than 300 licenses, you have the capability of choosing this. So the viewer, Mr. Dinesh, I will share with you regarding this matter, the licensing and the comparison charts. I'll be sharing with you as soon as we end this session. So we have
Yeah.
another
So
question.
again, to answer Dinesh's question, I also have a very good comparison chart that I can share with Nicola. I don't know if you're referring to the same comparison chart. This was done by one of my colleagues named Aaron Dinesh
No, no.
at Microsoft. So it makes it fairly simple for us to evaluate the licensing between these platforms. So I'll share that with Nicola, so Nicola can share it with you.
So we have a question from an anonymous user. He's not sharing his name, right? So let me share the question. Right. Can you explain M365 mobility? See,
So M365 Mobility is Microsoft Intune. That's basically the device management platform that we have. So you can actually use Microsoft Intune, the Azure AD capabilities to manage your corporate devices. Like you all know, there are users who bring their own devices and then access corporate related data in those devices. So mobility, the EMS platform covers the device management aspect of M365. You can effectively use those tools and processes to manage how those devices connect to your organization and then access the company's resources and data. So having said that, you can also configure various policies. For an example, conditional access policies, where you can specify where the devices are logging from, users are logging from, and based on those policies, you can actually decide if to give access to these data or to block access to these corporate data.
yeah, likewise, right? So one of the important questions: why this subscription base rather than having a one-time license? Right? Windows 10 was we have the Windows 10 package in perpetual license as well,
Yeah.
and now why this sudden change into subscription regarding the
So
reason?
yeah, so again, with a model like Microsoft 365, as we discussed earlier, it's always up to date, right? Now, you should know that Microsoft has a life cycle for each and every product. For an example, let's say as Office 2013. Now we are using Office 2019. So Office 2013 is almost end of life. So
Yeah,
when end of life products come, Microsoft does not support these end of life products, including upgrading the security patches and things like that. So the customers basically will be at risk, and they will have to invest on the more latest version of the product that is available. So when you
yeah,
talk about a subscription based model, you don't have to do that. We basically take care of that product updates and product life cycles on behalf of you. All you have to do is you have to just keep on paying that subscription, and if you don't want to continue using that subscription based product, you can simply stop. There's no commitment on your end to continue using that.
Yeah. So I need to add something. This was one of the questions from an anonymous viewer again. So the subscription helps the customer. Now, for example, now a customer who is having, let's say, a specific field like
Yeah,
construction field, they have a project from 6 months, 3 months, or maybe going up to maybe 1 year or 1.5 years. So at this point, a customer have the selective knowledge of getting the subscription base, Windows 10 or Office 365, all these license combined together for a subscription base. So they don't have a capit, that means expense on their burden, that means keeping the products online. But after the project is over, they can cancel the subscription and they can let it go. After backing up their data, they can let it go.
yeah,
So
yeah,
this is the part of what we are encouraging customers to have. This subscription base allows the customer to have a choice whether we need to buy for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, or more than that. I think
definitely.
when they are going for more than 3 years, they have a some software assurance. That is
They
another
do.
part.
Yeah, yeah,
This is
yes.
a part which customers and most of the partners doesn't explain the customer.
Yeah, so
Oh,
again, they will have to analyze that cost difference. They will have to at the end of the day, ultimately, it's the customer's choice. So they can go with. I'm not a licensing expert because Microsoft licensing is a different topic. Only experts can discuss. I'm not going to talk something that I don't know and put myself in trouble. So so yeah, so as you said, the customer has different options, but the easiest option is going via the subscription based model, because as I said, there won't be any commitments from customers end. So I mean, you took a great example, like once the project is over, customer can stop using it and they don't have to pay for any of those licenses or any of those users. But whereas if they have bought a packaged product or a normal way of buying licenses, then they will have to keep that product until that product life cycle expires.
yes. So and one more thing. Sorry for putting you in trouble in regarding licenses.
No, no, that's
So
okay.
right, we have another question regarding certifications. Right. So please explain about the Microsoft 365 certification part. So to give this explanation, we have 3 tiers of examination levels, what is called fundamental, associate, and expert. So what I will do is after the end of this session, I'll make sure I'll share you the new chart what we have. I think, give me a moment, I could share the screen. Give me a moment. I have to see whether the document is downloaded earlier. Mm, right. Let me see. I could share. Okay. Mm, okay. Give me a minute. Yeah. So this is the latest certification charts what we have with Microsoft. So let me get this straight. You can understand. So now we don't have much of all the bases what we had earlier, but now we have focused level of certifications. So as I said before, it's turned into 3 tiers, and we have the fundamentals over here. So if you are going to the Microsoft 365 area, so you have Microsoft 365 fundamentals. Then we have the certification for these are the things available. If you're going for a developer, you have MS 600. So if you're going for messaging administrator associate, you have MS 200 and 201. So if you're going for clientele side, you have MD 10 and 101. And advanced security, you have Microsoft MS 500. So Teamworks, you have 300 and 301. And for Microsoft Team Administrator, you have MS 700. And for the expert level, you have MS 100 and 101. So these are the charts available right now. As I said before, we have some new examinations also coming our way. So as I said before, let me show you those things as well. We have AI fundamentals and Azure data fundamentals available soon. I think by the end of next month or July. So I'll keep this updated. I'll make sure I post this data after this session. So I think you get a idea about what are the products available and what we can do with this, right? I think you got this. Okay. Any other questions that are coming through? Okay. What we have is now, okay, we have talked about the client side as well as going towards security, the mobility part, the security part. Now we have talked about Office 365 as well. So uh, let me see. Getting another question. Give me a minute. Right. Okay. Now, when you're talking about storage, what you can tell about storage, what to Microsoft 365, because we are some of the customers don't are not aware of the security part what we have with uh, Microsoft 365 using OneDrive. What are the importance of using OneDrive and SharePoint Online?
Yeah, so again, like when you talk about traditional way of using on-premises file shares, and if you want to migrate your on-premises file shares to Microsoft 365, that's when you will have to embrace SharePoint Online, because SharePoint Online is something that you can use to store your corporate files and folders in the cloud. And when you're
Okay.
talking about end users home folders, right, that are mapped into end users computers using scripts,
Mhm.
that's when you can use OneDrive to replace their home folders in the cloud. So when you're talking about the security aspects of things, there are plenty of configurations that you can use within the M365 platform. For an example, configuring retention policies, configuring Azure information protection policies to safeguard your critical data that is residing in your corporate SharePoint as well as OneDrive for business accounts in the organization. And then you can see where these data travels and with whom this data has been shared. So there are certain practices that you can enable within the platform to safeguard your data within Office 365, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, and normally now there's another question asked regarding the security of the. Now we are talking about OneDrive and SharePoint Online. Now, is it possible? Is there a possibility of sending? That means, let's say, company sharing company details, right? There are some important documents in SharePoint or SharePoint Online. So, what are the security levels what we can apply so that our data is safe? Let's say some employees might be a double agent working for another company, right? The normal basic words what we are telling over here. So at that point, what are the security levels we can go through?
So starting off with, you can actually configure security permissions within SharePoint document libraries, right? So you can actually let only the users who are required to access those SharePoint libraries access data. That is the first and most paramount important thing for you to do. As a
Mhm.
SharePoint administrator, you need to make sure that your permission levels are set right within SharePoint site collections. Then again, we have, like, depending on the M365 platform you have or the licensing you have, as I mentioned, you have certain controls around configuring information protection labels, retention policies to safeguard that data, and then see who is sharing data with whom in the organization. Again, when you're talking about organizational sharing, you have the capability to block external sharing as well as fine tune that sharing capabilities within Office 365.
Okay, so we have another questions, a little bit techie question that we have. So can we explain? about MS Teams webinar live events. Can we enable webinars as on-demand recorded videos to watch after the event in the same link, and how?
Yeah, so you can definitely record the Teams live webinars, because when you are scheduling a live webinar, you get the option to opt in, if to make the recording available to your end users after the webinar ends. But with regards to the recording accessing after that webinar ends using the webinar URL, that is something that I need to check. I'm not too sure. I think you can, but I need to check that. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, to add that, actually, Microsoft Live event, if you're having a Microsoft Team Live event, you are getting the same link, whatever it's doing on Microsoft Stream. It's one of the
Yes.
services, video services available with Microsoft 365 ecosystem. So this with this service, you have the capability of getting the video, whatever the session you are doing live, or whether it's a Microsoft Team direct meeting, you can have a recorded session and you can share with in the same link, or else you can join with the other things, right? And we have another question regarding Microsoft MS900, the Microsoft 365 fundamentals, right? To give explanation regarding this, the question, uh, Microsoft 365 fundamental is the basic knowledge of getting into the ecosystem of Microsoft 365, understanding the licensing, how to add a tenant. So in detail, what I can do is, as I said before, I will share the links with you after this session in the chat itself. So I'll reply to all the questions. As I said before, I will be sharing the details. We will be sharing after this session. I think Dileepa is also sharing some of the documents regarding licensing. So I'll make sure you get the details as from us and go into knowledge. And I have a question over here. Oh, this is a good question. Most of the school teachers and students are facing some data issues when they are using presentation and sharing other related documents. If you could share the thoughts on that. That is
Uh, yeah, so
good.
that's it's a good question, but unfortunately, it depends on a lot of things, because when you are saying the teachers or students are having problems when sharing, it might depend a lot on their bandwidth that is available for them to use Teams client, because when you're sharing presentations via Teams, we know that your bandwidth needs to be of I mean, at least up to a good standard. So if you have a very a weak ADSL link, you will still see some stability issues in the platform when it comes to those things. So
Yeah.
your bandwidth might be the culprit there.
Okay. So to update regarding this, the most of the time, as I said, customers are getting all the platforms available with Microsoft 365 licensing, but they are not using it, right? I don't think other countries are facing this issue because they have unlimited packages and good connectivity on their country. But we are having in Sri Lanka, we have the issues because we have limitations, as well as not promised speed is there. So even I had issues yesterday regarding some of the ISPs having not promised speeds and all. So to save those things, to add to that question, as some of the technologies I talked with Microsoft team experts, what you can do is, if you're doing a presentation or any other document, if you're sharing that document through OneDrive, so if you have saved that document in OneDrive, the data that is used to view that document is less, because it's not uploading from your computer to the web and right back to the viewer's account. So if you are having it in OneDrive, it's a link they're sharing only the viewer. That means, for example, if the PowerPoint presentation is 15 MB, the viewing part only will be costing about 1 MB, like that. So at that point, using the resources given by Microsoft 365 to use these technologies, the collaboration part. But I think, Mr. Danusha, you can make sure that the teachers and students, whatever they are doing, they can upload their data to OneDrive and start sharing. So it will be little bit helpful. That means I'm not telling it will be more data saving mode, but some of the data will be saved through this mode, because I was also had this issue later. That means earlier. So I contacted with some of the Microsoft experts and Teams experts. So and I got to know that this is a way that you can reduce the data usage of whatever the things available. So
Yeah.
according bandwidth, it's not in our choice because it has to go to ISP, but the saving part you can do through Microsoft 365 OneDrive and the other tools what is available. Right. Uh, you cannot say. I don't think you can use the same link to watch the recorded video. Yes, you cannot use the same link to view the recorded video, but you have to share it separately
Yeah,
after
because it
recording through
yeah
Microsoft Teams.
because it
So
resides in
after finishing,
stream, and yeah, you'll have to share it with the participants. So
yeah,
the suggestion there is, you can download the participants list, and once you have the participants list, you can extract all the email addresses based on that participant list, and then share that link to your stream recorded video. That's the suggestion there. Perhaps we might release a feature if there's a requirement by our customers. You can always, I mean, if you have any sort of feature requests with regards to Microsoft products, you can always go and request those features via Microsoft user voice for our
yes,
respective products, and the product team will actually look into those requests on behalf of you, and then make those features available to you moving forward.
yeah. One of the site I visit more than 10 times a day.
Yeah.
Right. So it's user voice is one of the Microsoft easiest way of getting technologies back to you as soon as possible needed. So I think you can work with that. And let's see, we are getting another question. Give me a moment. So can we talk a little bit about Microsoft Education part? Microsoft 365 Education. It's one
So
of the
to be
requested
honest,
question.
yes. Okay. What do you want to know? Because I don't cover the education sector, and my expertise is not in that education sector. But I'm happy to address any of the questions, because the underlying concept is the same. So
So I think I can add some details regarding that as well as you can. I think you can support me in this.
yeah.
So I know some information regarding this. So when you're talking about Microsoft Education tenant, oh, the A1 license, or A3 or A5, we have three packages now. For the moment, A1 license is free of charge. It's the copy of E1 license for the education part.
Hmm.
So what you get is you have a specific license for Microsoft 365 schools, which has two tiers of licensing for faculty and students.
Yeah.
And you can categorize teachers' expertise as well as when you're talking into now most of the Microsoft 365 365. If you're talking into education, it's Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
People buy the schools convert because of Microsoft Teams, not because that means they are using the other products, but the main product they will be using 99% is Microsoft Teams.
Team.
So when you're talking about Microsoft Teams, you have capabilities of controlling your subjects, students going live, sharing documents, even give assignments to students directly online.
Yeah.
So you can put auto grading through Microsoft Forms. So you can put required answer. So according to the required answer, the marking should be available. And you can add third party applications through Microsoft Teams. So you have the I think some other features like third party applications available inside Microsoft Teams. You can add those as well. The collaborative part, you have a lot. That means you can share websites, YouTube. You can put I think through tabs you can put a YouTube channel, so that you can share details regarding whatever you are teaching, or the teacher can have certain channels created, a private channel to have discussions with the school monitors, only staff. So likewise it's a controllable environment for, that means the same environment what we have in schools. There are some privileges for teachers, some privileges for students. So all these privileges can be evoked. You can have society meetings, even let's say commerce society or English literature club. or the sports club. So you can create channels and have discussion and share your knowledge. So these things are available inside Microsoft Teams. So we have a question. What is the best method to learn more in MS Teams and SharePoint developing site communication sites? Is to do the courses.
Yeah, it's to do the courses, and also I don't know if you have this available in Sri Lanka, but here we actually run webinars when it comes to conducting trainings for our customers as well as our partners. So I don't know if Microsoft Sri Lanka does anything similar, but if not, you can actually tap into the worldwide webinars that we run at Microsoft to
Mhm.
educate our past partners and customers alike in terms of various products and technologies. Like these products and technologies are subdivided into categories. Like for an example, let's say Windows 10 device management, Microsoft 365 security, um, um, onboarding to Microsoft Teams you from Sky for Business. So these are like different learning paths that we run as webinars. I can
Yeah,
share you the link to these worldwide webinars. So if you're
yeah, sure.
comfortable with the international timings, and if you have the willingness to stay awake and attend these webinars, you're more than
Yeah, I
welcome
think
to register
I,
yourself and then attend.
yeah, I think if it's in Australia, you have to wake about 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Probably,
Likewise.
yeah, yes.
Yeah,
And
because
so yeah, so that's the webinars that we run. And again, we have a Microsoft Learn website where you can actually go into and then tap into various resources based on different categories. So if
yeah,
you want to further expand your skills in SharePoint development, then there are paid Microsoft official curriculum courses that you will have to undertake under Microsoft certified learning partner.
yeah. So we have for Microsoft Teams, we have a course called MS 700. That's called Teams for administrators. And for SharePoint, we have Microsoft Teamworks. It's only covering SharePoint as well. So we have for developer associate, we have MS 600 developing associate regarding Microsoft 365 platforms. So what I'll do is I'll be sharing you the chart so you can refer the chart, and they have this PDF is link generated. So all the if you click on a certain examination, they will be forwarded into a URL of the certain examination you're requiring. So we have the features available, and you can see what are the new examinations coming through. I think many of the examinations and products are coming next month. I think from mid of next month and end of July, we'll be having another 6 to 8 examinations coming. So it's a good part for having the examinations as well as it's day first, right? So if you are into the challenging part, you can do these examinations. You can contact me through WhatsApp. Anything, I'll be sharing my contact details, so you can contact me, so I can help you regarding this matter. So another question is there any expiry date on A1 full version tenant after deploying?
Uh, I really don't know, to be honest.
To update regarding this, A1 license still it's free. Microsoft has not put an end date yet, but it differs from country to country. Still, they have not updated regarding any end date, but there is an expiry date, but it's not there yet. Because of this pandemic situation, Microsoft is moving forward with the education uh, platform to help connect students with the teachers and have their education go through.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Yes.
sorry if I can't answer any of the educational questions, because
No
I
problem.
don't focus on Microsoft 365 education side of things. I only focus on the enterprise side. So education
Yeah.
is completely different. The features that they offer, even in Teams, is completely different to what they offer in Microsoft 365. So some of my corporate customers have asked me, "You have this feature in Microsoft 365 Education Teams, but why don't we have it in our corporate environment?" Because they like to have those features in their corporate Teams client as well. For an example, breakout rooms.
Yeah.
We still don't have that breakout rooms option in Microsoft Enterprise Teams. So
Okay. So I think today it's a good session. So I'm very good because we have more than 30 viewers at the point of having this session. So it was a success, and I think today I think most of them learn a good knowledge of this product, and I think next week we'll be having a guest speaker from that is also from Australia. So I think to update you guys, Dileepa Kariyawasam is a technology specialist from Microsoft Australia. So we'll be having another expert in Azure as well. So next week, same time, we'll be having Azure level. One of my best friends and one of my mentors in the data side, and that means Azure platform. He's one of the experts. So we'll have him as well. So to I think we can wrap it up. So we can do you have any messages to our viewers regarding this matter before we close this session for today?
So, message is first and foremost, thank you for inviting me for your very first webinar, and yeah, really happy to be here and then answer some of your questions. And again, sorry if I couldn't answer the education related questions because that's not where my expertise lies. But
Okay.
I'll be here. You can reach out to me. You can get my contact details from Nicola.
Mhm.
I'm also available in LinkedIn. You can send me a friend request. I'll accept you in LinkedIn. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to message me on LinkedIn, and more than happy to address any of your questions moving forward.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you again, Dileepa. You took your personal free day. That means Sunday is a
No
free day,
problem.
right? Right. So I started this session to educate people because, as I said before, there are some struggling of understanding the technology behind Microsoft 365 and Microsoft. What are the intentions of Microsoft moving forward with the singular product? So I think most of the viewers today got the real knowledge of what is this product and how we can move forward and how to approach customers, or the customers are getting whatever the things needed. So once again, I thank you for joining this session. So guys, thank you for joining and listening for more than 1.5 hours. And we will be updating regarding the next session. So definitely we are having regarding Azure. So we'll have Azure expert as for moving forward. So if you have any inquiries regarding this, please let us know. We are happy to help. Even Dileepa is there. I think Dileepa can recommend some of the colleagues, experts in Australia, regarding to talk to have a discussion regarding these matters. So
Definitely. I mean, I'm more than happy to. Even if you guys want to see a product demonstration, Microsoft Defend ADP, Microsoft Security Stack, I'm more than happy to schedule another session with Nicola and then take you through some of the product demonstrations, so that will help you to improve your knowledge as well. So that's what I do day in day out at Microsoft Australia, educating our customers, partners, and helping them empower their end users as well as empower our customers. So I'm more than happy to share those details and trainings with you as well. I can do a personal training session with you as well. So let Nicola know if you are interested in learning any of the product stack that is available within M365, and more than happy to run you through a product demonstration live.
yeah, definitely. We'll plan it soon. I
No
got the
problem.
green card from Dileepa, so we'll plan it soon, right? Okay. Thanks again, viewers. I think this video will be available after for you to view. You can share with your friends and others as well. So in YouTube as well as in Facebook, my account, it will be directly available, the recording. So thanks again, guys. Thanks again, Dileepa, for a wonderful session with you, and
No problem.
hope to have. I'm trying to collaborate. I think 3 or 4 platforms together and have a discussion like this. We will plan it one soon. So till then, have a nice day to my viewers. Have a nice day to Dileepa, and he's
Thank
a
you very
brother to
much.
me, a mentor, and a good friend. Right?
Thank you.
Have a
Thanks.
nice day, guys. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.